What's going on, guys? This is Druson, aka Rain, and today I am making a video on a guide for Albedo. Albedo was recently shown by Mihoyo that he is getting his rerun after being gone for almost a whole year. He came out, I believe, 2020, in I believe January. He was after Zhongli, before Ganyu. So he was January of last year, because Zhongli came out December. I'll just be doing this video will just cover about talent priority, artifact sets, weapons, his role for the team, just anything. Now, to start off, Albedo's best role is sub DPS or off-field DPS. So sub DPS, but Genshin is the game where you can play any character how you would like. So you can build them however you would like. Um, First, weapons. As of right now, Harbinger of Dawn, a 3-star weapon that you get from Gacha, is his best, like, in-slot weapon. Most, if you've summoned or if, or even played the game for a while at this point, there's no chance you don't have this R5. This weapon is amazing for him because his other best weapon that I've seen other people use is I've seen people use Jade Cutter and even Mist Splitter. Now, I have never tried Jade Cutter on him myself or Mist Splitter because I do not have Mist Splitter, but for 3 stars, Harbinger of Dawn is his best weapon because it gives him crit rate and crit damage. Now, for how to build him, what you'd want is you'd go for your standard DPS sub main stats aside from your Sands, which you would have as defense. But you'd want because his skill, if you look at his talents, his skill scales off defense. The procs do. In which each time you put his E or his skill down, there's the initial set and the transient blossoms for each time you hit inside that will proc and do damage. Now, his ult still scales off attack. So if you want to go for potentially crit damage, crit rate, defense, flat or percent, probably percent is better, and attack percent, and or flat attack at most. But attack percent obviously is better. Um, you don't have to level his auto attacks unless you want to. Uh, Even if I don't use a character for auto attacking, I always at least make it minimum 6. That's just how I am personally. I do plan on eventually getting his ult and his skill to level 9. I do not plan on crowning him. Uh, Now, in my opinion, Albedo's best team is this team right here. Zhao, double Inimo and Geo. Now, he's basically to provide Zhongli with energy, if need be. That is Albedo's main role. And when Zhao's ult is, you can say Zhao's not in burst because Zhao is the main carry for this team. He's the off-field damage dealer. So I don't have to worry about, oh, my Zhao can't do damage right now, so I'm just going to run around like a little chicken with my head cut off. No. Albedo's role is you simply will place his E down, swap, and basically do other stuff, as right here. Here's the rotation for this team specifically. Zhongli, Albedo. See? We have 13k for his 10k. So this is... I will show my build also with this. And he pulses with Zhongli. But same as here. Does 12k. My Albedo, as you see, has 1800 defense and 1100 attack. Almost 1200. He has an absurd amount of crit rate because I want his skill to proc and crit as much as possible because it is his main source of damage. He doesn't need too much ER because he actually gets his burst considerably fast and very, very quickly. I believe his burst cost is only 40. Yep. And it's 12-second cooldown. It's basically, you could say it's an ult spam. You can just spam his ult. Constellations. You don't necessarily need any, but if you are free to play and low budget spender, you do not need constellations on Albedo. He works amazing just without. I've had mine seed 0 ever since, and I do not plan on going for it anymore. Even though I am a whale, but I see no point in getting constellations for him. Now, if I was a Leviathan, then I would go C4. If you're like a Leviathan, you somehow come across this video, and you main Zhao, C4 is that sweet spot. You get plunging attack damage increased. His C2 is also one of his probably, I say, his best constellation, because it scales everything, even his ult at this point, off his attack, off his defense and attack. So he turned into a double scaled unit. But artifacts. Now, this is where you can build him however you'd like. Mine currently is on, I guess you could say more of a DPS type of build, but for support, off-field damage dealer, I'd say two-piece Petra and Noblesse are his current best set. But I currently don't have any Noblesse pieces to give him that are good, so I swapped to Shimenawa's remnants for now. With Albedo, you mostly want to aim for right here, like crit damage, crit rate, attack percent, defense percent on all his artifacts, which I got lucky and got that on almost everything. This Sands is actually really good. If it would have hit crit damage, it would have been even better, rather than crit rate all that time. But it hit flat defense, so geo damage cup, double defense rolls, and you have crit rate. Arguably, I could possibly find a better goblet, to be honest. But I'm not too worried about it as well, because I don't really care enough to like min-max him. Like this right here, if this rolls crit rate, instantly better than what I have now. Because right now I don't have crit damage. So it seems like I'm lacking a little bit in the crit damage area department. But yep, but I have an offset now here I could possibly swap to crit damage circlet and still have a good ratio and get even more crit damage than what I have currently. Let's see, I don't think I have any that I can actually use at the moment that are free. I mean, my Kaching is momentarily benched, so I could steal hers. And then I can have 73.8, 190. Then I can have, but then I lose some defense and just for a little bit more attack. And I'd rather have my ult still, hit as many of those as possible. So I will swap back, but for Albedo, he can have multiple different builds. I've seen people run two-piece Glad, two-piece Petra, Shimenawa Petra like I do, Noblesse Petra. It's however you want to play the character. Talent priorities. Now, for Albedo, since his damage comes from his E or skill and his ult, I'd say prioritize his skill and ult over normal attacks. Like I said, unless you really like the character, you plan on maining him, using him as your main DPS, you can just ignore this and go straight for these two and get them as high as possible. Or if you're like me, you like having all your characters with at least the bare minimum of level 6 talents, then yes, level that up too. Now, his gameplay, it's not, in my opinion, it's not the most fun, but he is visually satisfying to see as a character, as attacking wise. Now, I'll use this Ruin Guard as a test dummy to show it again. But let's say right here, and you see all the tick damage. Then you got the 11k procs and his ult, 20k. Then you have the smaller procs at the same time. Now for Albedo himself, those small blossoms you saw was part of his E. The transient blossoms when he pops his ult. Anytime you pop your ult or your burst, though your skill is down, it will always go off in the vicinity as you see. It'll only go off in between this. So I'd say Zhongli is Albedo's best friend currently because Zhongli can stunlock the enemies into the circle. and then what you do is Zhongli pillar to get them to pulse like that. He's very good for Geo teams. Let's say in this team, I'd say those are the only ones to my knowledge that where he works the best at. And I believe there's also a Hu Tao team. If you want to be I guess a meta slave or whatever, I don't know. I don't know if it's meta or not. I don't follow meta, but it's Zhongli, Albedo, Hu Tao, and Xing Shou, which is also one of Albedo's teams. Like, he's not really he's more of a flex character in my is what I'd say genuinely, because if you're ever using a team and you don't know exactly where to put a unit, or you have a fourth slot that you can't find or give to a unit, Albedo's a good spot. He is a good picks, a very good flex unit. When I initially summoned for him, I didn't know if he'd be good or not back in the day. I was chasing a 4-star, which you're never supposed to do unless you want the 5-star on the banner. And in the long run, he has benefited me really well. He is literally a staple momentarily to my Zhao team, and I mean, he gets the job done. He helps Zhongli with his ER issue, or the used to be issue that I used to have, but now that's no longer an issue as well. Let's say, so he does perform on reaction teams, as you can use too. Let's say I would ult with Zhongli, but he'll kill her. Let's see. Oh yeah, she'll die. As you see, 4K ticks, and the flower stays. It doesn't go away. It has a pretty short cooldown on press activation. Now, if you hold it, you can control how far you put it, which I want to put over there. It goes over there, and he still has a very short cooldown for it. And since he's such a low burst cost unit, he's basically a burst DPS. If anything, I'd say sub DPS, burst DPS areas is Albedo's best slot. But if you really do like this game or character, then you can play him however you like. I use mine personally as a burst DPS for my Zhao when I do my rotation. He's a very easy to build unit. Doesn't take much considering as of now, his best weapon is a 3-star that you more than likely have R5 for anybody. If you're a whale, free to play, low budget spender, Leviathan, that R5 is every weapon. Leviathans probably have this like R75, R1000 by this point. Um, Now, what is next? I want to touch up more on the team comps idea, but I don't see more than those 3 teams I mentioned a little bit ago that are highly used with Albedo. I'd say he's mostly a flex unit, if anything. He's not really a big, like, giant unit that can fit on any team, but he can be used on any team. Oh, he destroyed my stuff, so plus it back. Zhongli has a long cooldown like Albedo. See? But he is a very visually satisfying unit to look at. His outfit is really cool, in my opinion. I really like his design. I think he has one of the best designs in the game, from like his coat, just how his clothes are, in my opinion. Um, as most of you know, I'm like a Zhao fanboy, so I don't think his design comes close to Zhao's, but I do think Albedo definitely has one of the best designs in the game. It's, I wouldn't say simple, but it's like really the color patterns is what makes it interesting and very good. Um, Now I could do an Abyss showcase trying to run him as main DPS, but in all honesty, I don't really know how much that would benefit. But for the sake of the video, I think I'll do that real quick. So we'll swap his weapons. We'll swap his weapon. We'll steal that from Jean. And I'll steal from Jean. We'll steal that for at least from Kaching. Now for Albedo, we'll switch to a great damage circlet because he has. We'll look for one that has defense percent instead. Would be Yoimiya's, but Yoimiya has a crit rate circlet. let's see, here at this moment is where you'd want crit damage circlet. Ideally, it would be the best. Would be crit damage circlet with because you want his ult or his skill. I apologize for that. His skill to tick. This would actually be good because I mean it has attack percent and double defense. But I apologize for that. I'm a little coming down with the cold. We will just give him Kachink circlet for as of now. I do lose a little bit of defense overall, but I do get more attack. So it didn't really gain much crit damage. Seems like us swapping to this just gave me more crit rate, if anything. Let's see. Just checking on my stuff. Alright. So, what we will do is we will Alright. We'll just do Alright. We'll just take him into floor 12 for a quick second. I feel like that'd be the best place to show him. Not truly sure who I should really use at this point then. So that means my Raiden becomes, well, not unusable. We'll just do Planet Kazuha. We'll do Zhao. I don't have too many characters I can really choose from right here. I can do we do Raiden, Shinsho, Sara, and I guess we'll do Venti. But alright. Attack. Alright. Main DPS Albedo. So let's see how this goes. Alright. 10k ticks. Let's see. 30k own burst. Just go do that again. Okay. Not doing bad at all. Alright, we're gonna do this. Alright. 50k! Jeez, that's what Bennett. Oh. Yeah, it does really good damage still. This is the first time I ever used DPS Albedo myself. 30k, okay. Here we are on the next one, and we will do Elemental Mastery. Since Geo doesn't really use EM that much, we'll say Maku Kenki. I'm glad I didn't whiff that. Sometimes I do biff it and I miss. Oh, we lost our pillar. There's Zhongli. Put that back. We'll do that. Zhongli.
異表を見届けよ。難攻不落。
Oh, basically, your full team is the portrait here. Okay, not bad damage, but he's not doing much tick damage. We'll say, alright, since he's back against. There's Zhongli. 49k. That was without Kazuha too. Oh, you messed up right there. This is the first time I ever ran DPS Albedo. Alright, I'm gonna high-find that. Alright, 49k. Zhongli to finish it off. Not Chamber 3. Defense plus 40%. We'll go with that. We'll see how much our skill takes for it now. We'll just come over here. Alright. Uh-oh. Kinda just missed that, so... Now it's gonna take a minute for them to come down. Okay, where's this guy at? Okay. So basically, 39k. We're doing 13k ticks right now, with each hit when he crits. 12k. See, this is mostly Albedo's set of damages from his burst. We'll move that. We'll do that. Shred their health down a little bit. Can't see. He works as a perfect hand-in-hand battery for Zhongli. Recast that. Oh, he ran away, so what we'll do is recast that. Oh, petrify. Kazuha. 45k. There you go. The Ticks killed it. You guys basically see how DPS Albedo works and if you should summon or not. If you like the character, I say summon. He's a good character. He benefits teams. You can definitely save your butt when it comes to certain stuff. But anyways, if you're still watching the video, I appreciate it for that. And make sure you stay healthy, drink your water, listen to your parents, go to school if you're in school, and have a happy holidays because it is that time of the year. And this is Rain, and I am out.